All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
You're probably in a pretty good mood today, Joel, I would think. You're excited. You got the nerves. You got the excitement of basketball tonight. You've got the feel good emotions of a market that's pretty up pretty much across the board. You're probably feeling pretty good, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, you and I are the only two Big Ten teams left in the tournament.
I don't know. Yeah,
right. We've yet to play our second round game, but no. Very good day in the market here. We have tailed off the high a little bit. Not much hesitation at the open. It had a little dip to 0350.
Wait. Show us those charts.
Show us those charts. That's right. Got nowhere near you missed the close by about $4. Chopped around a little bit, but once you cleared that pre-market high, was pretty much clear sailing. Now, we didn't get up to our all-time closing high. That's up at 63.50. Maybe we can do that tomorrow. But we did get up to 44.5. Don't have anything up there, folks. And now we've tailed off a little bit, maybe a little profit taking here into the close. But overall, after the week close on Friday, pretty good day in the markets. Let's look at crude. Crude's flat here, up 2 cents at 61.46. Let's take a look at that crude chart here. We did get, boom, over 60. Was that over 67? Pulled back under 60 and trying to retake some of that move. Gold gave back some of those gains. It's down $1.90 at 17.39.80. Silver down 48 cents at 25.84. And Bitcoin down $3,160, 55,815, and keeping a real close eye on 55K there. That's been support really over the last 2 weeks. We are on it now. So Bitcoin traders, whether you're trading the cash or the futures, keep an eye on that 55K. Spencer?
Joe, we've got ourselves a pretty strong, wide-ranging rally. I mean, a lot of it is tech. You look at what's the greenest of the green today, and I mean, Apple and Tesla are leading the way today. Tesla's up 5%.
Yep.
Apple's up 3%. Microsoft's up 2.5%. So it's nothing to sneeze at there. Same with Facebook, but the big guns are leading us higher.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about tech, right? And we need the big components. They still are the big components in the index. But quick question here for you, Spencer. Out of all the growth tech, out of the all-time, flying high tech, which one has had a little bit of a choppy year, but man, it's might be closer to all-time highs than anything else? Which one of those big guns you think I'm talking about?
Choppy year.
Choppy January, choppy February. Just caught a major bid.
Probably Facebook.
Yeah, it is. Yep. The
prior to the last 2 weeks, it done a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, look at that. That is the pre-market prep stock of the day. Just looked at that one for Chubbs. I mean, really, you see where we're at the beginning of the year. Sold off in January, tried a rally, came down. And this is a rare pattern you see in a big stock like this. Forget about these two lows. You had 11 consecutive lows between 53.5 and 57.5. And then you had all the highs well-defined in that area too. Then you broke out. It's getting back up. I looked at, there was a high up at 97 and change. We got the 99.70. So could be a little bit of tough sledding up to that all-time high. This actually made its all-time high in August. So Facebook, leading the way here. And it's not really something that we really haven't talked about it a lot. I remember that talking about it here on this breakout day. Yeah. But there you go. So I wouldn't get too worried yet until, I don't know if it's going to be as well-defined top. I mean, look at that, over 11 sessions. So just wanted to bring up that Facebook chart for you all.
And it's not just like the big tech like FANG. It's also like, look at the semis today. You can go to an ETF or just the usual suspects like NVIDIA and Qualcomm. I'm all of them. The point is they're all up today. We've been talking
look at
about
that.
this shortage. I saw that Ford is cutting shifts at one of their plants because there's not enough semiconductors to go around, and the whole chip sector is hot today.
Yep. NVIDIA, man, this thing is volatile. Keeping an eye on 540. We didn't get that yet, hit that yet today. That was a high, I believe, from last week. My favorite, Intel. I've been in Intel for a while, and I'm liking that. Climbing back. Had to gap up with the new CEO. Spencer barely won his bet. It came down and filled the gap, and I like this one. This is a holder for me. I'm not going to be looking at this one for a while.
Good.
What are the other chip stocks doing?
Qualcomm. You can look at AVGO.
Oh yeah, AVGO. Okay. Let's talk about that for a second.
Well, that one's having a lackluster day, I think, compared to.
Well, it had the big goose on Friday, right? Remember? It had the imbalances on the close. So
we mentioned that this morning. Yeah.
Yep, we talked about that this morning. So your old leaders are emerging today as leading the market higher. Yep. You could see the chips are weighing. I saw Ford is not really participating today. Good support at 1250. I saw GM was getting hit a little bit, but that made new all-time high at last week. A little bit of a healthy pullback. What other stuff is related to the chip stocks?
The chip stocks?
Yeah.
You can go to like Texas Instruments if you wanted to.
GXN.
You could go to like Micron. I mean, they're all up. That's the point. They're all up. That's the point.
Oh, new all-time high for Texas Instruments, huh?
Is it really?
Kids must be, look at that. Kids buying calculators to go back to school, right?
There's no way, because those things last like forever. So you buy one and you're set for life, right?
Exactly. And what else? All right, let's move on to some things that aren't doing so well.
Like what? The banks?
Yep.
The banks are getting hit today.
Yeah. TLT's up. Your inverse correlation there.
Yep.
But, I mean, let's just look at it in the proper perspective. I mean, sure. JP Morgan got over 160 last week, right? So a little 3-day pullback. Can't really call where it's at support right now, but you do have a pair of lows under 150. Let's see where those lows come in at. 147, let's call it 148. If you're looking to buy this on a little bit of pullback, you had a pair of lows in that area. But just a little profit taking after a big run. Bank of America, same thing. That is doing battle. You did take out the low from Friday, but not by much at 37.40. Now back above it. Also, before that had the big bump up to almost $40. You had another low at 37.33. So support building up here in Bank of America. We'll see how that reacts tomorrow. We'll see how the TLT is trading, and we'll take it from there. What else? Berkshire's.
Pat's asking if we saw TKAT. Yeah, I saw it. You know what? I swear it. One day I'm going to buy one of these things, and then the day I buy it is going to be like the top. Okay, so let's do this. I will tell you when I've bought something, and then you can use that as your sell signal for these NFT stocks. Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll use my entry as
an exit,
as an exit for everyone.
And everyone in the chat will buy puts, or everyone will short it when you do that, and then everyone will be like, everyone will be laughing at you, Spencer.
Yeah. I mean, look. Because the FOMO is real, okay? The FOMO is real. I'm going to say it now. It is really hard to look at these things and not get all pissy because, I could have bought this. And it's hard not to think that way. And so I don't even like to look at these charts. Because I'd rather, like, in my heart of hearts, I know that I'm going, like, I would prefer to get rich slowly, but it's hard to not want to get rich quickly when you see things like this. It's just hard.
But it's also better than getting poor quickly, too.
It's true. You can also get poor quickly. Yeah.
But this one, I mean, is a wild child as it is today. It had a nice setup for you.
Now you tell me.
It did. I didn't trade it, but I'm looking at it now. Yeah. Hindsight Hanover here. 29.68. That was your close on Friday, right? Lower open, $26. Just dipped through Friday's low, 25.81 by only 30 cents on the nose. Once it came back up through that open, let's see, it came back up through 26. Boom, boom. You had a heatless trade right there. It was at 36 before you even carded it up. So these ones are tough, but if you are going to play these things off the open, use a reference point, use the previous day's low, use the previous day's close, because you got yourself a pretty nice trade there, and pretty good volume in the issue today. 50.90 it just hit. I have no idea where this thing is going. This is a new all-time high by a wide margin. S&Ps are now 12 points off that high, just probably a little profit taking. I don't know if we're going to see maybe some imbalances, sell imbalances after such a strong day, but that's what we're looking at here in the futures going into the last 18 minutes of the session.
Yeah, chat's like, who needs money? I'm with you, chat. Who even needs money? M. Kelsey, who needs money anyway? I don't know. Not me.
Can't take it with you.
That's exactly. You got to use it while you're here. Ain't that the truth? I did have another thing I wanted to talk about.
Oh, I want to check Turkey.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
Did Turkey rebound at all?
I don't think so. No.
No. TUR.
Slight buy imbalance.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It kept on going though. That's a kind of and I think I mentioned that when you see these ETFs, I can remember it with what's the Brazilian one, EWF,
EWZ, I think.
EWZ. I mean, when these things get hit on that overnight news, it's a lot of it's factored in. And it continues. You don't see a turnaround, but maybe we'll try and pick a bottom in Turkey, see if it makes a couple lows in the same area. I don't know if you're going to get down to that lows that you had near the end of 2021, 1783. We did mention 2270 as a monthly low. Where did you get today? Today you got the 2272, so not bad. Temporary support. S&P's trying to close over 39.30, but they're just kind of walking it down in here into the close.
That's a bummer. Chat saying that Elgin Baylor passed away. I heard that. I didn't know that. That's a huge bummer. You know what? I haven't made a YOLO trade for several months. I might just do one on XPEV. They're doing this. They're in the midst of this publicity stunt where they're basically, there's like a fleet of their cars, and they're driving them across China, like 2,200 miles across China. And I guess they're going to end in Beijing like the end of this week, I think. And their whole point is to just show how autonomous their cars are and how little human intervention was needed. I mean, there are people in the cars, but I think the whole point is that they're going to track exactly how much human intervention was needed over the course of a 2,000-mile journey. And it's basically a publicity stunt. But hey, never doubt
never short the Chinese having
and especially the Chinese retail investor. The size of the Chinese retail market blows away the size of the U.S. retail market. I saw a stat. I think it was this morning. So Alibaba, right, they're doing their IPO right in Hong Kong. And
you mean Baidu?
Yeah, Baidu. That's right. Sorry. Okay. And their IPO among retail investors was like 1,000% oversubscribed. Right, the Chinese retail market is huge, and we've got this big PR stunt with XPEV, and they're doing this cross-country trip using their cars, and they're beautiful, and they're great, and they're autonomous. I may just YOLO my Weeble.
Yeah, I just, if it goes off the road, I don't know if you're going to want to be on that one. But the chart
is a bad idea. Well, you're a bad idea. I don't know. You're probably right.
That's not a bad looking chart. Even I could maybe call it a head and shoulders bottom here. Look at that. Pretty nice. Left shoulder, right shoulder.
Yeah.
Moving up. Great support at 35. So that's not a bad looking trade. I won't argue with you on that one just from a technical perspective here. And, you got a lot better. 60 to, what was this low here? 60 to 25, 35, 17. That takes you back up to 42 and a half, 43 area. That would be a little bit fit. That might not be a bad setup for you. Do like the support here. That's a ways away from it, but at least you got a bottom to lean on.
There we go. All right. For those who are paying attention to earnings, there really is not much after the close today. If you want, I can share my screen and show you just how little,
sure, go ahead.
Just how few earnings there are. Look at this. That's it. Usually when you scroll, you gotta scroll for at least like 10 seconds. That's it. This is it. These are the only earnings reports after the close today. So 10-cent music and Akerna, which is cannabis, and it's pretty much it. It's gonna be really quiet.
What about and not much tomorrow morning either, right?
Oh, let's look. The 23rd.
The only thing is GameStop.
The 23rd. Tomorrow morning. And no, we got, a cannabis play that interests me. There's a Bitcoin play. And no, it's really just GameStop's tomorrow. That's pretty much it. So really, really quiet on the earnings front this week.
The whole world waiting for GameStop tomorrow. Okay. S&Ps, we got, I don't know if I didn't see the imbalances go by. Bill Big D says 88 million to buy. That's nothing.
I saw a little more than that, but slight buy imbalance. Let's do some questions from chat, shall we? Yeah, we haven't talked about Shopify for like at least a month, I feel like.
Shop till you drop. Boom.
I mean, just because it traded with the rest of the rest of that arc.
Sleepy. I mean, 1100, right? That's good support. You would think with the way tech acted today, I mean, it's having a pretty good day. Man, I don't know. This is, I see the 1100. You would think with the momentum of the market, this thing could have got to 1190 today. That was your high from last week. So until that gets over 1190, gets into that 1200, a lot of air between 1200 and 1300, I'd be a little cautious on this one. You did have a quick bump off the low, and you had the move you had the high to the low here. I like it above 1103.50 here. And actually, you have three lows right around 11. Let's call it 1110. So pretty good support there. Shopify hanging in there. Like to see it get into the 1200 handle.
You know what's interesting? If you go to the railroads, and we'll go back to chat in a second. But if you go to the railroads, so CP, which is the company that is buying Kansas City Southern, is traded down all day. And so Kansas City Southern's going with that. But if you go to the other ones like CSX, right, they really gave you a chance. Those things held up the entirety of the pre-market right into the open.
Let's see here. Oh, they did, and then they sold off a little bit. I don't know. How close? Was it the opening? Was it the open? Give you a good look on that one? Let's see here. 95, 94. Yeah. You were keen off the open, 95.20. 94.81, then hit 95.20, then rolled over pretty quickly. So open could have kept you out of trouble on that one. And then there's CNI, right?
It's the CNI. And then NSC also, which was open.
I just don't know about these. Yeah. That one made a new.
It's a strange industry because everyone's working together and they really do just divvy up the territory. It is very strange. It's monopolistic in a way. There's like 4.
Yeah. Now there's going to be less, right?
Now there's going to be 3. Let's go back to the chat. Omid is asking about Solar Edge, SEDG. I mean, I know Tan got schlossed last week, but how did Solar Edge do?
You want to see this bust over 300. It's not having a bad day. Made that low under 240. These are rebounding. They just seem like they're pausing here in the rebound. Had the quick sprint from 230 to 300. Came back nicely into that 265 area, which is about halfway back. Getting another leg up. Let's see if we can punch into 300 and stay there. Your high from last Monday, a week ago Monday, 303.40, so a little bit over 300. But yeah, had the extended pullback off the all-time high in January. Things got a little bit done. Pullback. It's just these moves, like the second time that happens, it's just different. Right? Mm-hmm. You had this move off the election, the rally, the pause. And the reason is there's people stuck from long above, right? Break off the high, rallied back, looked like we were going back to 380. And now, there's just people that are either long from much lower prices trying to get out, or they're people that just never participated, got long in, let's say, 240, 260 area. They could care less whether it goes back to new all-time highs. They're just taking their profit target. And right now, that 303.40 looks like the longer it takes to get over there, I think you might roll over a little bit, but still looking 2 good days in a row after a bad day on Thursday.
Zach T asked about skills. Zach T, they priced in a secondary offering last week at $24, so I can't tell you if it's going up, but I can tell you that you've got at least a floor at $24.
Yeah, you do. And they tend to react off that. The low, what was the low from last week? 23.65, pretty good pricing. What was that stock that really submarine people with an offering, and it was at 22?
There's been so many.
Was it Clean Spark?
That sounds like it could have been Clean Spark.
Yeah. Yep. Offering price got under 22, 21.66, and rallying nicely. So we talk about those. Yep. Thank you, James. We talk about those being floors. S&P's totally different character, folks, here. Since we started the show, S&Ps are not cooperating here going into the close. That stair-step rally is now eroding here. 39.29, now 13 points off the high. So we'll see if we can get one more spurt into the close, but that buy balance not meaning much today.
Well, Coupon Boy is saying it flipped to a sell balance. So
okay. I mean, if you think about from where we were this overnight in the overnight session, I mean, we were 10 points off the low from last week. You had the 4 a.m. rally. And then, the good rally overnight. So coming off an expiration, maybe folks that held into the expiration and didn't like that price action, lightening up here. But still looks like it's going to be a good day in the market. Still up nearly 30 handles at 39.29.75.
Sam Borski, TAPM, we're not going to look at that. It is a market cap that is
too small.
Way too small. Way too small.
And Spencer says it's way too small.
It's way too small. It is one of the lowest market caps that I can remember seeing for quite some time. So we're gonna not look at that. How is Bed Bath & Beyond doing? Oh man, that's a good question. I haven't looked at that one for like a couple weeks.
Triple BY. I mean, we haven't been talking Reddit much.
Oh, that's interesting. It's kind of snuck up on you.
Yeah.
GameStop has obviously done its own thing, but Bed Bath & Beyond is like a less volatile version of GameStop.
Right. Boom. And I don't know. This looks like I just would keep it.
Look at that short, though. That doesn't look that bad.
It doesn't look that bad. I see the spike to 33.33 last week. Okay. You didn't get there today. Looks where you at? You're trading 31.77. Forget about that 33 high from last week. What our traders will focus on tomorrow is Friday and Monday's high. Pair of highs, 32.14, 32.20. So there's what you need to get back up. Step down seller from 33. But you also have a great number on the downside. 4 out of the last 5 lows between 30.30 and 30.60. Friday's low, 30.30. Today's low, 30.36. So important floor. We're $1.40 off it. Not looking for any downside. Bed Bath & Beyond. Not quite an inside day. Just missed it on the upside, but keep an eye on those 2 levels for setups in Tuesday's session.
Hertz Scrambler is asking about SJR. Hertz Scrambler, you need to know that is in play. That's Shaw Communications, which is being bought by Rogers. So there's really nothing to say about that right now. It's going to trade with Rogers.
And what's Rogers? RCI or something?
Yeah, RCI. There's really nothing that we can really add about.
Yeah. No. Just keep an eye on the ratio. Keep an eye on your leader. Your leader's down today. Find us some support though. Gapped up after the deal. So I don't know. Keep an eye on 48 here, just above 48.
Jesus, yep. I kind of lost track of things. I'm so busy looking at the chat. I kind of lost track of the market here. So do you, Paul. So do you.
What are you talking about? I'm like, the market's selling off. I've been walking down here.
I'm so busy reading the chat and reading Pro that I kind of lost track of things here. But yeah. That's interesting.
It's a pullback from the high. Gives you some nice setups overnight to see if we get back. I mean, you had the Friday low, so I think a lot of people are leaning, we're going to take out Friday's low and keep on going. But no, you were above it by 10 points overnight, and then you just got the momentum going to the upside. Let's see if we can mount a rally into the close here. 3 minutes left in the session.
Yeah, I mean, everything is pretty much still the way it was. It's just less so. Like tech is less up, right? Banks are.
You know what? I was talking about Facebook.
Yeah.
And I said no signs of institutions looking to exit. But that's a spike high, $6 off the low. Keep an eye on today's close, folks. If you're trading Facebook, you had a nice close. The high close in the move was yesterday, 290.11. You're improving on that today by 293, wherever we close here, 293.50, 293.60. I'll keep an eye on that level, especially since you peeled back $6 off that high. You got the 299.71. You had the gateway at 300, offer stocked up at 300. Someone mentioned Palantir. I just want to see how that's doing today.
Okay, I haven't looked at that since this morning.
A nothing muffin day. Not much going. Ooh, tight range.
Down 15 cents. Who cares?
Not a big. Next.
Okay, no. Who said this in the chat? That JG knows how to piss me off. He goes, market selling off, Viacom's going higher. And I'll be damned if he isn't right, or she.
Where's Viacom? 110 now? No, struggling at 100. Yes. Let's take a look at this is interesting, folks. I'd keep an eye on this watershed $100 mark. Made an all-time high last week, 101.97. The bad news is you didn't get up to that area today. You got to 100.42. But the good news is you're posting a new all-time closing high on the move by $3. But here's the fly in the ointment on this one, folks. Big drop off in volume. I mean, this thing hasn't traded under 10 million. Ding, 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 ding. I don't know. This is just a little bump on it's over 10 million now. So a big block on the close. Keep an eye on that 100.34 folks. Light volume day. So you just could have had, one buyer, maybe some short puking it out, and then people exiting it. But the low volume day on a big jump, we'll keep an eye on that. Close 100.34.
All right. What's the final tally? How did we close today?
Boom. We are up 31.75, 39.31.50, up 32. Good day, 12 points off the high. We'll keep an eye on that overnight, 39.44.50. Really didn't have anything in that area, so keep an eye on that. That'll be the gateway. Our all-time high, believe it or not, was made last Thursday at 39.78.50. Old-time closing high made on Wednesday at 63.50. So those are our targets on the upside if the rally continues.
All right,
if we start to pull back here, I don't know. This is going to be tough. I've got a weekly number at 39.20.
Joel, I have 3 words for you, right?
We are Michigan.
All right.
James Earl Jones, we got to win. I'm cut off today. I'm cut off. And go Terps. Even though your coach tried to pick a fight with our coach.
There is a chance that neither Joel or myself show up to work tomorrow. We will see.
No.
we will see.
What do you show up to work? What am I going to do? I mean, it's pretty hard to find me if I don't come to work. I'm either upstairs or downstairs. So
that's true.
All right. Everyone, have a good night.
Good luck to your Wolverines, and we'll see you tomorrow, Joel.
Go Blue.
All right. Okay. That's closing the bell. We're done. But I want to hang out still. The show must go on, and so I'm going to bring on one of my favorite Benzinga personalities. He is at Dyslexic Invest, Drew Levine, and we'll get Mitch back on in a second as well. So we've got the Cannabis Insider Show at 4:30, but we really want to keep this 4 o'clock to 4:30 slot open because you never know when crazy shit's gonna go down, and we want to be like open and available for that crazy shit. So Drew, what's up, man? How we doing?
I'm doing fabulous myself. How about yourself, Spencer?
Wait, where did the handle come from? Dyslexic Invest.
So I am dyslexic. So
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. I didn't realize you made fun of yourself there. All right.
Yeah, you can laugh all you want. I like to laugh at it.
All right.
And I like to invest, right? So I think it's something unique.
That must be a nightmare for tickers, I bet.
What'd you say?
Is that like a nightmare for tickers?
It can be a little bit confusing sometimes. There's been some mistakes to say the least. It has been.
Oh no!
Practice makes perfect, right?
Oh man, you gotta have hotkeys to avoid that. Just like hotkey, this hotkey is Apple. This hotkey is Tesla, and not TLSA is the other one. But okay. So Drew, you're an active trader and investor. What have you been doing? What did you see out there today? Did anything cross your radar enough to make a trade on, or what?
Yeah, I did not pull the trigger on anything today. I'm kind of sitting tight on a few positions right now, just trying to see how they bounce back with tech. I'm a very growth-minded individual, I would say. Okay. So Palantir, I've been sitting a pretty big position on. That is my biggest position. But something buy high, sell low, like investing. I mean, sometimes it does happen, but some big growth names that I know Jonah Lupton really likes, and he was on the show. I've been following them ever since he came on. And DermTech and Celsius, 2 names that are really showing.
What the hell are those? Wait, what are those tickers? I don't know those.
Yeah, so Celsius is CELH.
That one I do know. Okay.
And DermTech is DMTK.
DMTK, DermTech. What is this? It is okay, so it's not crazy. It's $1.5 billion market cap. So that's not nothing. Still, I guess technically a small cap, but that's not insane. All right, let's pull up a chart. So wait, what is the deal with this?
So these guys are doing a smart patch, they're calling it. I don't know the exact terminology, but it's a patch you put on your skin, and it tells you if you have, I believe it is like lymphoma is the most popular cancer. I think that's the one. I could be wrong here, but I believe right now that's the only one it checks for. And, it's a biotech company, which I don't love investing in biotech, but,
Why is that?
They're very binary, right?
Mm-hmm.
It passes FDA. It's a huge win. It doesn't. It takes.
Yeah, you're screwed. Basically, you're either you're a hero or you're a zero.
Exactly. Right. With tech, it's like, maybe the servers were down for Amazon or something. They fix that tomorrow. Right. There's always someone that can fix the problem. With biotech, it's a long-term thing.
Yeah. Okay. So DermTech, you've been long, and then the other one was CELH, right? Celsius. I can't tell you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking to start a position in DermTech.
Okay. So you have not bought DermTech yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're waiting for like a pullback or what?
Yeah, I mean, it's ran up quite a bit, and it had a huge dip. Celsius had an insane dip with earnings. They dropped, I want to say, 20%, 30% on their earnings, and they've been kind of coming back ever since.
Yeah.
DermTech's looking just as strong, but there's a lot of hype with these names, I think, and it's going to be a slow process. So just something like today, it's up 8%. Am I starting to miss out on some gains? Possibly, but it kind of is a reopening play too, because dermatologists have to prescribe these patches, and I don't think too many people are really going out to seek dermatologists. I mean, more and more obviously as reopening happens, but I think it's something people kind of forget about.
Well, this is interesting. I like you because you're like me in that you talk about things before you buy them a lot. Like I talk about things, I'll make a lot of talk, not a lot of action. I love to talk about when I want to buy, but I don't actually pull the trigger that frequently, right? And I figure it's like the opposite of someone who talks their book. I talk the book I wish I had, right?
Yeah, I've tried to be very conservative on opening new positions.
Okay, yeah, I'm the same way.
Because in the past, I've kind of been very wishy-washy. Like, I'll open this, and then a week later, why did I open that if it's down?
Why did I buy this? Why did I buy it?
I never want to be in a position where I'm like, if it dips, I don't know if I can hold this anymore,
Yeah. Well, it's like you buy, you're like, I didn't even really want this thing in the first place. Why did I even buy it? Okay, so DermTech. So not in yet, waiting for a pullback. And then Celsius, you are in that, right?
No, I'm not in neither of these. They're just on my radar. They're making big moves today. We can talk about some positions I do have, though, if you'd like.
Well, the chat wants you to talk about INMD. Roperpal wants you to talk about INMD.
That's funny. I actually was going to talk about that today. So InMode is probably the company I will open first.
What is this? Crazy. What does this do?
So this is an Israeli. I would consider them maybe. It's funny, two biotechs. I don't know if I consider this a biotech. It's more of like a health tech company. Basically, what they're doing is it's non-invasive plastic surgery. The way I would look at them. Okay. So they do like all types of stuff to like do like.
Wait a minute. Were you listening to Jason's Clubhouse with Josh Brown last week on Friday?
I was not. I've been on a few of his, but I've not heard that.
I think this got pitched in that, and I think the guy who pitched it was like a total meathead. I'm like 90% sure he's talking about this stock.
Really?
Yeah, because he kept saying like, oh, if you want like, you want like the tightest abs, you go to these guys. I was like, what is this guy talking about? I think that was this one, INMD.
Yeah, that would make sense. It's super attractive. They've had pretty insane growth. They had like a quarter that wasn't too great recently, maybe because of COVID. Like who's going out and really pushing for a facelift? And, you can just throw on a zoom filter and look just as good.
Yeah.
And for the abs, but really interesting stuff. I like how it's like non-invasive and they're selling these units that are like $20K,
is it like an over the counter thing? Like what can you like something you do at home or like what is, do you know what the product is?
Yeah, it's like you'd almost go to like the spa or one of these plastic surgery places and like go like maybe once a week and get like a thing done. I don't know the correct terminology for that. It's not.
So you're not a user, is what you're saying?
I'm not a user.
Yeah.
Do you like to buy what you use?
Like stocks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like if you like to drink Coke, do you buy Coke stock? Are you one of those type of investors?
I like the idea of owning stock or investing in things that I use, products that I use, and products that I like. And there's also the psychic thing of like whenever you. So Costco is a big one where like I don't own Costco, like the stock. I own it via like a fund, but I don't own Costco. But if I did, every time I go to Costco, I'd be like paying myself a little bit, right? So there's like that psychic component to it. But I'm generally a believer in owning companies whose products you use and or you're like just a huge fan of. I'm a huge fan of Costco. I don't own the stock, but I like probably should because I go there all the time. So I'm a big believer in that style.
Okay. I think it's very dependent for me. Like something like Coke, like that's such a big company, and yeah, I think Coke's going to be around forever.
Snoozer is boring.
But it's not really just going to move. So I like something that has a very small market cap that maybe I stumble upon.
Okay.
That I could use. I don't know if I have too many examples right now. Like one thing is I was super interested in solar. And I was trying to convince my parents, like, yeah, get some solar on the house. And I was just doing super, like, a lot of research in the industry. And that got me on the end phase. So, like, that's also a really, I looked at the company, saw that they were having pretty significant growth. They're pulling back here. I opened the position at 130, kind of as they started to run up.
Where was that? Was that last year?
It was 2020.
Yeah.
I just opened a position there. So
okay. So how do you approach this now? So you're up pretty big, right? You bought the stock at 130, right? Was this the end of last? It must have been the end of last year, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not huge. It was at 200. But I don't really care. I think they've had insane growth. They're working on a battery product right now. Revenue is great. And I don't want to be wrong here. I'm pretty sure they've had positive earnings for the last year.
Well, let's check. Let's go to the earnings. Let's go to ENPH. Just see, we can compare Q4 last quarter, 51 cents per share, 39 cents per share, 4 cents a share. You go back to all the Q4s. Yeah. I mean, it's certainly growing year over year. No doubt about that. The earnings, what about the revenue? 204 versus 210 versus 78. Yeah, they're growing. Top and bottom line, they're growing.
Yeah. I mean, the EPS number is a joke, right? This is a company that's stock is currently worth $150 and earnings per share is 50 cents. No one's buying it for EPS, but the rev growth is obviously the reason why I liked it. Right. And I just think solar is super interesting just because I think I'm not a big fan of oil, and I just kind of see solar just really coming in. People in California are super, into that. Their energy prices are super high, and they have a ton of sun, so it works out there really well. And with Biden possibly opening up some type of more, the Green New Deal stuff.
Sure. Well, if that happens.
If that happens, yeah. It's weird. Nothing, no talk there.
Let me just do a couple headlines here. Let's go to our news feed, look at what the news desk is doing for the last few minutes while we've been on the stream. So we had Tencent Music earnings. They were out. Let's look at that real fast. TME, it's the only earnings report that I really care about today. Earnings per share, or ADS, that's what share is. It's just American Depository Share. 11 cents versus a 12-cent estimate. Sales $1.28 billion, which is in line. I don't know why it says missed there. It is in line with the estimate there. They also announced a multi-year strategic deal with Warner Music. Okay. That's enough of the headlines. What about the chart? What is the stock doing? TME. Anything we care about? Let's go to a 15-minute chart. No, let's go to a 1-minute chart and see what it's doing after hours. Oh, we got some vol. We got some volatility. All right, I don't hate that. So what did we close at? We closed at 30.87. We got down to as low as 28.70, as high as 31.80, and we're right kind of in the middle. We're right pretty much at where we closed at right now. So all that just to come back to where we closed at is all right. That's the initial reaction there. Conference call. Wow, late. Conference call not scheduled until 8 p.m. tonight. So very, very late conference call. If anyone is interested in Tencent Music. Any other headlines that we've seen that are interesting for the past few minutes since the close? Let's go to the newsfeed and see. Another every day there's more offerings, I swear. VRCA, there's an offering, no term is disclosed. So that'll probably trade down, if not tonight, then tomorrow. What else do we see? Spartan Naps, their shares retiring. Don't really care.
It's a big offering on MP.
On what?
MP,
yeah, there it is. 8 million share offering. Via selling shareholders. Okay, so not dilution. No dilution there. The offering is via. So somebody wants out. and they went to the company. And they're like, we want out. And they're like, all right, we will sell your shares to the open market. So that being said, MP, let's take a look at the board. Oh, interesting. It is trading down, but it really shouldn't though, because that's not dilution. They're not creating new shares. It's just somebody selling to somebody else. That's what being selling shareholders means, to my knowledge. That's weird. It's down 5%. So either I'm wrong, or there's something else here, or the market is being stupid. I guess all three things are possible. But
yeah, I think it's just the algos jumping on first the headline, but not understanding what.
And that's probably they probably see here. You know what? Let's look straight to the. I bet you it's in the PR. Let's look at the PR. I bet you we can see. So, MP in the headline though. Green convertible senior note offering, and there's another one that they're proposed public offering of common stock by selling stockholders. Let's just skim the headline, the PR here. Anything? I don't know. That's weird. If Chad has a better idea of why it would trade down, holler at your boy. But the way I interpret that headline is they're not creating new shares out of thin air, so I don't really see a reason why the stock would trade down. Plus, we haven't really seen stocks trade down, with some exceptions. We haven't really seen stocks trade down too much on offerings, I feel like, just anecdotally. But good catch, Mitch. MP Materials. What else did we see? That was out a few moments ago. Let's skim the headlines real fast. See if anything catches our eye. There's the MP headline. White House officials to meet with energy industry executives ahead of a climate and infrastructure plan. Okay, don't really care. No, not much. Really, really quiet after our session today. Super quiet. Not much on the headline front, which is kind of a bummer for us. Uh-oh. Oh, what's this? What's this?
NFTs, I'm calling it.
Uh-oh.
Wait, you're calling NFTs? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Kodak's going to make an NFT play. I'm calling
Kodak is starting to move there.
What is this? Do Control F, NFT. Nope.
Nah.
Control F, none. Nope. Back to the chart. Forget the headline. Forget the company. To the chart we go. Oh my goodness. What is it? This freaking stock. It'll never die. It'll never die. Ever. All right, it's off the highs now, so it's dying a little bit.
The pop and drop right there.
Yeah. I don't know how to interpret that headline. Traders circulate a company blog post. Online printers group commits to Kodak on a mammoth scale. This is a sell the rip thing. Don't, please, for the love of God, people, do not chase this thing up $1 in the after-hour session. What are you doing? What are you doing? How high did this get?
9 something.
914. 914, and we closed at what? 824. Don't chase Kodak up $1. Don't chase Kodak ever. Rule of thumb. Don't chase Kodak ever. Ever. Let's go to a daily. Let's zoom way out.
You usually never see Spencer talk like that, but when you see him talk like that, you might want to pay attention.
Stock, it never dies. It's like the anthill in your backyard. It just never goes away.
Oh man.
It's like that heart monitor. It's like beep, beep.
Yeah.
Beep. The spike comes right back down.
Ruel says he's naming his next child NFT. That's a better idea than buying Kodak, Ruel. It's a better idea than buying Kodak.
I got to play for you, Drew. If you see if you like this one, INSG. 5G play.
Inseego. Drew, have you ever owned?
It's sleepy. I'll be full disclosure. I just got in today, guys.
Okay, I have owned this stock. I do not own it anymore, but I owned this stock. I'll show you when I owned it from. I owned it from like early 2019, I think, or late 2018, somewhere in that window. Somewhere around $3. I brought in $3. and I sold it last spring. It got punished with COVID. It came all the way back, and then around the end of April, early May, I was like, "Oh, this is silliness." So I sold at 12, and I'm out. And I guess technically I own a 5G ETF, so I do think this fund or the stock is in that fund. But I played the stock by itself for a year, had some fun. Don't own it. It's been a Matt Kolb favorite, who's a friend of the program, friend of Benzinga. He's been pounding the table on this thing. He's a value guy, but this thing, I mean, you can see it was 20. It just gave back a year's worth of gains, basically, in the last couple of months. So,
what do you think, Drew? Yay or nay?
Technically, like, what made you want to buy this? Technicals, fundamentals?
I use all three. So, story, technicals, fundamentals. What do you like about it? What do you don't like?
I mean, I like how it just sold off. It's kind of chilling at some support here. I mean, it could possibly come a little bit lower. I don't know. It did dip. But I don't know. I got to read up on the fundamentals. I mean, 5G is definitely hot. Looks good fundamentally. And it should be interesting to kind of see how infrastructure changes. We had the guy who runs one of the biggest 5G ETFs on earlier.
Oh, wait. Can I interrupt you, Drew?
I was trying to get to Via.
Can I interrupt you, Drew? I'm interrupting you, Drew. I'm sorry. Viacom CPS. Oh, my God. These.
You're sleeping. You sleep.
$2 billion.
$1 billion.
No, $2 billion offering of Class B and $1 billion offering Class A of convertible preferred stock. Let's go to the chart.
Dilution.
I call that dilution with a capital D. And boom. Actually, that's $3.
Boom, baby.
No, down 3% after hours. This is what you get. God, I feel vindicated now.
Wah, wah, wah.
I feel vindicated. Wait, where's my? Yeah,
that is definitely a wah, wah, wah. The question is, does this turn around all the entertainment?
Good for them. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to raise money when your stock goes bananas. That's what's happening. That's great. This is what you're supposed to do. But
what's up with Discovery now on that?
It sucks for the, it kind of stinks if you're long the stock. But okay, that's a good point, Mitch. Let's start with Fox A and go there.
Yeah, let's move across.
Nothing after hours. DISCA Discovery. No, not really. Down a quarter after hours. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing to see here. But Viacom, yeah, that is notable, especially because if you look at the daily chart, it's been Rip City in Viacom this year.
Yeah,
it has been.
This thing a year ago was $9. A year ago today, it was $8, and now it is $90. It just closed at $97, and now it's at what? $90.
Entertainment, man, entertainment. You got to keep your eye on that.
Okay. Jason B has a question.
Yeah, I was going to answer that, actually.
Jason, it's okay that's not an ETF question. We're not just ETF people. I mean, I do an ETF show, but we do all sorts of things. AVEO just announced an offering.
Yeah, I was going to talk about it.
I still believe in the company, but offerings are bad, right? Do I stick with it or wait and buy in cheaper? To answer I'll let you answer this, but I just want to say before we go to him, offerings are not bad per se, right? It's not a bad thing. All it means is you're being diluted a little bit, right? You own a little bit less of the company now that they did an offering. Now, I don't know how big their offering was. We can go look it up in Benzinga Pro. The size, the price. Well, they announced it just today, a 5 million share offering. No pricing yet, which means I'll probably price it like tomorrow or the next day. Okay. It's not bad per se. It just means you own it less. Drew, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to kind of say something similar there. It really depends on what the company does. I know Mitch is one of his favorite companies, Genius. They love to click that button. And they've done all right? I mean, they've had some ups, they've had some downs. Yeah. But you got to think, when they dilute, they're getting something in return, and that's cold, hard cash. Which, if they get in it for a good price, that actually could be very beneficial, right? You don't want a company like Aurora Cannabis that dilutes to a ridiculous amount. But, if the company has to dilute here and there just to raise some cash and, get some things going in the pipeline,
right?
Not terrible, right?
That's a great point, Drew. Like, ask yourself, why are they doing the offering? An offering is just a way to raise money, right? So why are you raising money? Are you raising money because you need it? Because that's not a good spot to be in. But are you raising money because you can?
You want to expand or something?
Yeah. Right.
You don't want to get
like Aurora Cannabis has raised a lot of money probably because they need the money, right? Because deal making dried up in cannabis for especially Canadian cannabis companies. But they can talk more about that, at Cannabis Insider at 4:30. But if you're raising money because you can, and then that's something else entirely. So that's a good point from Drew. You got to really look at okay, why is the company raising money? What are they going to do with this money, right? This is why you go public in the first place, is to access capital markets when you need to raise money. You can do offering anytime you want as a public company, right? As long as you have people willing to buy shares, theoretically. So it's not a bad thing. It's just, where do they price it? Okay. Because the price could be the floor, a temporary floor. If they price, so it's AVO is at $9.63 right now. If they price it at $9, it's not great, right? That could act as a magnet or a floor. So that's one thing. But also, why are they raising the money? I mean, in this case, it's a biotech. They're probably raising the money because they need to fund a trial, I would presume, right? That's what these companies do. They all do this. This is what biotech companies do. How else are they able to afford their expensive trials? It takes years and a lot of money to get these drugs to the pipeline. They all have to do offerings. That's why so many of them are publicly traded. So is it bad? No, not by itself.
Maybe.
The answer is maybe. I'm sorry.
I got you some information here. So
okay, what do you got?
These are their candidates. So this is literally what they're working on. So as you can see, they had TiVo 3 and TiVo 1 that were actually in the marketed phase. There was some news about TiVo 3, I believe, this morning.
Okay.
About U.S. commercial.
Yep.
So that shows also their what could that mean? Hey, maybe they need some money to actually get this supplies to go to commercial. Right. So that could be one of the reasons why this offering could have came into play.
I mean, that's what Jason
it just goes to shows.
Yeah, that's a great point, Mitch. That's exactly. I don't know where you found that, but wherever you did, that was fantastic. That's exactly what Jason B is saying in chat. So in this particular case, neither of us, all three of us, don't really know anything about this company fundamentally, but in this case, it doesn't seem like it's that bad. It's not a death sentence, right? In this case, it just, on the surface, it seems logical, is what we're saying. This doesn't seem like a company that is raising money because they literally need to fund their operations for tomorrow. That's not what kind of, it's not that kind of offering. It's not a survival offering.
Appreciate the love, Jason.
Drew Levine, aka Dyslexic Invest. I feel like you need to change it so it rhymes. Dyslexic Invest.
I'm not good at that.
Dyslexic Investic. I don't know. Drew, do you have any final thoughts for us?
No, I think we had some great stuff that we talked about, and yeah.
All right, Drew, we have to get you on more because I know you always go on with Luke, but be honest, we're way more fun.
No comment.
And way more sane. Being honest with you. All right, Drew.
Being honest there.
Yeah, being honest for sure. All right, thanks a lot, Drew.
Yeah, peace out, guys.
All right, and that's gonna be a wrap for us.